Steel, grass, cameras, parking, donor space, drainage pipes under a stadium that first opened in 1929, that is what power looks like in college football now. And in Athens, power is not just about Kirby Smart calling plays or recruits choosing the G. It is also about whether the state's political leadership is creating conditions where Georgia can keep spending, keep building, and keep acting like one of the few programs in America that never has to slow down. That is where Brian Kemp enters the picture. He's not writing a personal check to the Bulldogs. He's not sending taxpayer money straight into a locker room upgrade. But if you want the honest version, his administration has helped build the environment that lets Georgia football keep operating like a giant. The biggest construction story tied to Georgia football right now is the $56 million expansion of the football practice complex. According to Dawg Nation and 24/7 Sports, that project was approved in September 2025. Construction began in January 2026, and the expected completion date is July 2027. The details are not small. Georgia is going from 1.75 outdoor natural grass practice fields to 3.75. The plan also includes 168 new parking spaces, full lighting across the fields, telescopic camera systems so staff do not have to rely on manual filming, and a pavilion space that can be used for donors and recruits watching practice. That last part matters more than people admit. Recruits are not just choosing a school anymore. They're choosing an operating system. Georgia is spending like a program that wants every visit to feel polished, expensive, and inevitable. And that is only one layer of it. According to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, there's also a $14 million underground overhaul at Sanford Stadium focused on infrastructure most fans will never see. It involves replacing roughly 1,000 feet of pipe beneath the stadium and increasing the sewer line diameter from 18 inches to 30. The culvert and utility system beneath that building are nearly a century old. That matters because Georgia is not just trying to look rich. Georgia is trying to act permanent. Flashy programs build a wall and post a rendering online. Serious programs fix the bones under the building so the machine keeps running without interruption on Saturdays. The money behind all this is real, and the scale is massive. According to GeorgiaDogs.com, the UGA Athletic Association approved a fiscal 2026 budget of about $223 million, with roughly $219 million in expenses and another $4 million in contingency. That was up nearly 16% from the 2025 budget. Sports Business Journal reported that a big chunk of the increase was tied to the new era of athlete compensation, with Georgia budgeting around $18 million in direct athlete payments and another $2.5 million for new scholarships tied to the post-house settlement structure. So when people ask whether Georgia is building like a national title factory, the answer is yes, because the balance sheet says it is. Here's the part that gets lost when politics gets thrown into the conversation. According to the Georgia Bulldog Club's 2026 donor guide, UGA Athletics says it receives no state or university funding for its athletic operation and relies on private support. That is a very important distinction. The practice fields are not being paid for by random Georgia taxpayers who do not care about the Bulldogs. The athletic side runs through the Athletic Association, donor support, ticket revenue, media money, licensing, sponsorships, and related football cash flow. According to Flagpole, citing UGA's NCAA financial reporting, football ticket sales alone brought in $36.7 million in the most recent report it examined. Football contributions added another $62 million. Football media rights brought in $20.2 million, and football-related licensing and sponsorships added $17.4 million. That is why Georgia can spend like this. Football is feeding football. So where does Brian Kemp actually fit if he's not directly funding the team? He fits in the rules, the protection, and the broader public investment climate around the university. The clearest example came in September 2024 when Kemp signed an executive order allowing Georgia colleges to directly compensate athletes through NIL pathways while the national legal picture was still unsettled. According to the order itself and coverage from WABE, AJC, and WJCL, the order was meant to keep Georgia schools on a level playing field with programs in other states. It also specifically said state-allocated funds could not be used for that athlete compensation. That means Kemp did not open the public treasury for roster spending. He did something more strategic than that. He removed a competitive handicap. Kirby Smart understood exactly what that move meant. According to 24/7 Sports, On3, and the AJC, Smart publicly said he was very appreciative of Governor Kemp and his staff for allowing Georgia programs to remain competitive and operate on a level playing field. That is not coach speak you ignore. When the most powerful figure inside Georgia football tells you the governor helped the program stay competitive, believe him. In the modern SEC, competitive does not only mean recruiting rankings and fourth-quarter depth. It means whether your state is giving your university legal room to move at the speed of the market. Georgia got that room. There is also a second layer to Kemp's influence, and it is less obvious but still real. His budget proposals for the 2026 and 2027 cycle poured major money into the university system of Georgia. According to Governor Kemp's office, UGA Today, and Georgia Budget and Policy Institute, the state backed a $325 million investment to establish the Georgia Dream Scholarship. UGA also highlighted proposals tied to campus growth, including $34.5 million for the next phase of the Science and Ag Hill Modernization Project, $3 million for equipment in the former Poultry Building, $5 million to renovate the former Environmental Health Sciences Building, $9.5 million in startup support for the UGA School of Medicine, $11.43 million for equipment and one-time needs there, and $5.6 million for design of a UGA School of Nursing facility. None of that buys a defensive tackle, but it strengthens the university around the football program, and strong universities are better positioned to support big-time athletics over time. That is why the connection matters. Georgia football does not sit in a vacuum. It sits inside a flagship university, inside a state system, inside a political climate that can either help or hurt its ability to compete. When the state government funds scholarships, lab modernization, medical education, and campus facilities, that does not turn into a new scoreboard overnight. What it does is free institutional pressure, strengthen the university brand, attract students, impress donors, and reinforce the sense that UGA is a place where momentum never stops. For a recruit and his family, that matters. For a donor deciding whether to write a big check, that matters. For an athletic department trying to sustain a title standard in the NIL era, that matters even more. And Georgia is not acting like a program trying to catch up. It is acting like one trying to widen the gap. Dawg Nation reported in 2023 that Georgia's spending on new and enhanced football facilities had already reached approximately $243.5 million since Kirby Smart took over. Since then, the numbers have only kept moving. The practice complex expansion adds another $56 million. The Sanford underground overhaul adds $14 million. The 2026 budget moved to $223 million. This is not maintenance. This is escalation. It is the behavior of a program that believes being elite once is not the goal. Making elite feel normal is the goal. So is Brian Kemp putting money into the Georgia Bulldogs? Not directly. That part should be stated cleanly. According to the executive order and the Georgia Bulldog Club, state money is not supposed to be used to pay athletes, and UGA Athletics says its model relies on private support rather than state or university funding. But if you ask whether Kemp's administration has helped create conditions that benefit Georgia football, the answer is yes. The NIL order mattered. The university investment climate matters. The symbolism matters too. When the governor of the state is publicly aligned with keeping Georgia schools competitive, that sends a message. It tells everyone around the program, recruits, donors, administrators, and rivals, that UGA is operating with wind at its back, not resistance in its face. And that is really the story in Athens right now. The Bulldogs are pouring concrete, laying pipe, expanding grass fields, upgrading practice tech, and building donor-facing space, while the state's political leadership keeps pushing a framework that does not leave Georgia behind in the new college sports arms race. Call it indirect support if you want. Call it political cover. Call it a friendly climate for a football empire. Whatever name you use, the result looks the same. Georgia keeps building, Georgia keeps spending, and the rest of college football keeps staring at Athens like it knows exactly what is happening but still cannot stop it.